Hello, welcome to James's pre-fight, post-fight MMA show, where we recap all the important things happening in the sport of MMA, and I, your host James, try to explain to you what's going on in the sport and make it as easy as one, two, three.
Ciryl Gane, Volkamin, uh, former interim UFC, former UFC interim heavyweight champion, 10-1, 6'4", with an 81-inch reach. He is 32 years old. He trains out of Paris, France. Tuivasa, he is the number 3 ranked heavyweight, 15-3, 6'2", with a 75-inch reach. I believe he is 29 years old, from training out of Sydney, Australia. Great fight, in my opinion. It's great matchmaking. It's two top 5 guys. What more can you want from the UFC? Two very different style fighters. Like Gane he's very risk averse. Tuivasa is known for not being risk averse, and he just goes for it. But I do think I do believe Ciryl Gane is like a. Did you check the odds? Is he a big favorite, Gane?
Yeah, Ciryl Gane is over 500
Oh my goodness!
win favorite. This fight, everyone's really just got him down. He has this in the bag, and so I really, it'll be really interesting. I think Tuivasa has had a very, very quick rise, and he's hot, and a lot of people love him. They love the shoey, and they love his knockouts, and there's a lot of hype around him. But Gane, we've seen what he can do. And I have to say, I was not a fan at first.
Oh, Gane.
No, I really wasn't.
Okay.
And it's really, I could say I'm biased here, but I'm a big Derek Lewis fan. And for me, the heavyweight division's all about big belly behemoths going out there and knocking somebody out. But I have to say about Gane, he's grown on me. He's really an artist in there. He kind of reminds me of just this really good athlete, something you'd see in like an NFL defensive end, right? Really just great athlete all around.
Yeah.
And he's almost untouchable. And I have a really hard time believing that Tuivasa is going to be able to get that big knockout. And it just seems like, and like what we saw with Ngannou, like, look what Ngannou had to do to beat Gane. He had to do what he never did before. He had to take him down and keep him there.
I remember you called him Division 1 Ngannou.
Yeah, and that says a lot about Gane. And to me, I'm going to give Tuivasa the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to say Gane's going to have an easy time putting him down, and this can be a disappointing performance for all, on behalf of Tuivasa and for all those fans out there. I think Tuivasa is going to last, and I think he's going to hold on, and I could see this fight being finished by Gane.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I think it's going to go further than 2.5 rounds.
I think it's going to be a later finish.
Yeah, I have Gane winning this around sometime in the 3rd round, about halfway through the 3rd round. And I think Tuivasa is going to realize that he's out of chances, that he can't hit, and he's really going to get rattled. Because once you know you can't beat somebody, once it's settled in and once you realize, okay, what do I have left to give him? Gane's going to catch him slipping, and he's going to get it done. And like I said, Tuivasa can hold his head high, but he's going to have a lot of work to do to grow and get better and become more well-rounded. And it's a very interesting period in the heavyweight division, right? And Gane really just presents this really, really different challenge.
Yeah, he's kind of like the first, like you said, athlete kind of. Yeah, we've seen a little bit of that with like Stipe. He was a very athletic guy, but Gane, the way he fights, he's bouncing. He's very balanced.
Yeah, and it's almost like he's right. He wants you to slip, and once he gets you to slip up, he's going to take advantage. And that was the thing. And Ngannou just used his size and strength and kept him down, and did what no one really was expecting him to do. And I don't think in any world Tuivasa is going to be able to keep Gane down. He's not even able to catch him. It's just a matter of Tuivasa having patience, having maturity and discipline, and he's just been a very explosive guy, getting those big finishes, and he's not going to be able to do that. And I said I think he'll impress and hold on for longer than maybe some people think. But I think the odds are pretty spot on here. I think Gane's a very heavy favorite.
I have a similar thought process. I am also gonna pick Gane. I just think there is a big experience difference between these two in overall MMA record. But Gane, like he's fought 5 rounds. I believe like this is gonna be like his fourth time. Uh, like you were saying, Tai Tuivasa, he is gonna be less athletic than him. I do think there's gonna be spots in the fight where he could win. Like in the clinch, he's very good, and he has very good leg kicks. But he has to be like somewhat the same speed or athleticism as Gane in order to implement those things. And he's just like a very he's a way inferior athlete to Gane. And you were saying how you think it's going to be a late finish. I also do think a late finish is in play. I kind of think he could get a finish in the fourth round because I looked this up. Tai Tuivasa, his whole MMA career, not just the UFC, he's only gone to the third round once. So I can see him like getting excited. Like you were saying, he may not be patient, right? He doesn't usually fight super. He has shown better ability to wait a little bit, but overall his style has never been that patient. And I think he may get too excited, and then he's gonna get frustrated, and then he may get tire himself out. That's my thought process into it.
Well, that's really kind of just how I felt. I think Tuivasa is gonna eventually kind of just not run out of gas, but he's gonna run out of options, right? And
Yeah.
his arsenal is gonna be drained, and eventually he's just not gonna have the answers he needs. And I think it's really gonna be interesting to see how aggressive Khan's gonna be in this fight, right? And I think you're gonna get to see very early on what Gane thinks of Tuivasa as a fighter,
Mm-hmm.
and what he's going to do to protect himself. And if what if Gane comes out and he's a little more aggressive than usual? What if he's got some
Like a chip on his shoulder, kind of from
yeah,
the
like
last
what
fight.
if maybe he wants to go out there and get this done and show he's got some hammer fists. And it would be interesting. I think it'd be a really interesting fight to see Gane come out of the bat aggressive. But I think he's going to let Tuivasa swing a little bit. He's going to let him go. He's going to let him get going. And, and you mentioned the leg kicks earlier too, from Tuivasa. Something like that. If Tuivasa is going to find it, it's going to take a real something that just cripples Gane early. And he's going to have to, it would be a really, really unconventional circumstance to see Gane lose this fight. And you never say never, and it would be one heck of an outcome. Tuivasa
Yeah,
fight.
can you imagine that? He knocks him out in Paris, and then they hand him the
Oh,
shoe.
it would be really, really great because it would create now this fresh dynamic in the
Yeah,
division. And it would just continue this accelerated climb of
yeah,
Tuivasa. He really, I mean, I remember the first time I had seen him fight, and I really had no idea where he was going, and all of a sudden he's doing the shoey in the crowd, he's knocking out everybody, and he's become this big cult fan favorite. And if he can ride that momentum, it would just be surreal. It'd be a great moment. I would love to see it. I think it would be really, really great for the division, for the sport, if he can do this. But when you break these fighters down and you really look at it, I just think
technically, yeah. Gane is just way better.
Jones is just ahead of him, and he's just going to be so hard to hit and so hard to get that finishing on. And if it goes too long, Tuivasa's not going to have any answers.
That's perfect. We're on the same track. So you're picking Gane. I'm picking Gane. You and I both think that there's no point in really betting on him because he's such a big favorite.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you sit there and say, but I don't want to give anybody advice, but yeah, it's one you got to be careful with if you like to put your money on the line, those odds, because the gains aren't there. But I wouldn't jump to rush to the underdog in that case either. I think Gane's in a really good position to win this fight. And if he does, where it goes afterwards, if we'll get that Ngannou rematch, when we'll get it. Because that would be really interesting, that ending too. Like, how will those two approach each other in a rematch, right?
Again, yeah.
Gane can get stopped right in his tracks, and Tuivasa could be on his way up, and
Yeah,
maybe
imagine
we're sleeping on him.
Tuivasa versus Ngannou. That'd be funny.
Yeah, it would be. I don't think anybody would have seen that coming anytime soon. So it would really be great to see Tuivasa pull this one out. But like I said, I just don't see it happening.
All right. That's our show, ladies and gentlemen. I thought that was great. I had a lot of fun. Tune in next time. We're gonna probably do one on Hamzat Chimaev and Nate Diaz for the next pay-per-view. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. Please like and leave a comment also if you're listening on any of our podcasting platforms. Thank you, guys. I'm James, and this is Mike, and we'll see you all next time.